I'm back again. I'm back again. I'm back again. Okay. Come no more. Ka. Cool. Kaladrika Laikana. Welcome everyone. Shimoge here again. Quick introduction. Given name Shimoge. Ahambu, aka forename Moge. Government name Shimoge Shijoke Ibe. Side note, relevant alternative white structured name Shimoge Shijoke Ibang Woko. Ibe is a shortened version of Ibang Woko. Ibang Woko is a combination of two names. These are the names of two patrilineal ancestors, respectively, between Ibe and Ibang Woko, my patrilineal great grandfather and my patrilineal great great grandfather. Yes, there we go. Birthplace, Washington, D.C., southeastern part. I prefer to call that area and many other places wrong. Again, I don't even know all the demarcations. This came to me from prayer, but also thought. We need national demarcations. Let's stick to the short form. Metaphysically correct name, Chimuaben Ram. Matrilineal village, Ebbe Mohafia. Reference point village for my patrilineage, Algiurata. Current place of residence, Atlanta, Georgia. Part of the ocean of this world. The Oshimri of this world. Yes, Oshimri Kufa. Abumonisio Shimri. Karabu Shimri. Name of the way of my being. Ahan Kofi Boom. Shimogen Keram. Ahambu Moge Onishi Kalakana. Abumonishi Kalakana. Abumada Karata. Whoa! Anime boa, boa, anime boa. And I'm currently also in Atlanta. Welcome. Another edition of Anger. I did this earlier. I'm figuring out how to basically advertise my content. So these are different components that I'll send to people. Starting going clockwise from the top right, that first symbol represents art. Like I'll show art, especially cover art. The second one represents the written part of the ad. The third part represents short videos that display something. And the fourth one represents business information, stuff like links to buy things and also links to donate. Anyway, that's what that is. There's something else I want to figure out here. I need to figure out what it is. I just want to blow my nose. Ooh. Anime shimmery, sha. Okay, what am I even figuring out here? Registered viewers, thank you for the views. Every view is a blessing. I also see the comments. Thank you for the comments. Every comment is a blessing. Ooh. Please like, share, and subscribe as well. I also see a registered like. All of those are blessings as well. And remember, I'm talking about subscription here on YouTube. That's free. You can also subscribe on Patreon for free, and then you'll get emails when I post there. But you can also do paid subscriptions on Patreon. Of course, we'll talk about that more at the end of the live. Okay. What am I figuring out here? Let me give out a bonus piece of information. Eat lemon powder. Eat lemon powder. It's good for you. Yes. Been eating lemon powder more in a more focused way of late. Really, the last couple of weeks, it has revolutionized my life once again. I found that a lot of the pain I've been having um, stems from improper nutrition. And when I eat lemon powder, the pain goes away. So, I'm just working on getting more lemon powder. Yes, let's stroll. Abumamadio, her call, hey. Abumamadio, her ball, hey. Abumamadio, her ball, bye. Abumamadio, her cow, her. Abumamadio, her. I hit the paper. I hit the paper, I get the paper, I get the paper, I get the cash. I hit the paper, I get the cash. I am Ash, I am Ash. AKGK, AKGK. Alright. What am I figuring out here? Oh, what has been bothering me? Abumongi Shikalakano, Namti, Neptune, Shangi, Shangi, Abume Pere, Shimri, Abundio Shimri, Kamjidama, Abumama, Amarama, Kama, Namabukalakano, Elamadioha, Runamamadioha, Abumonishi, Ezuanke Nama, Bunamamadioha, that one. Abunamizua, Amarama, Abumama, Amarama, Abumama, Amarama, Abumama, Amarama. Yes, my music technique, of course. How do I put together Udigwe, Elotu Agemegwa? Nabibukalakanu, Nabibukalakanu, Emechaya, Nabibukalakanu, he, Nabibukalakanu, Bobe, Nabibukalakanu, Papa, Nabibukalakanu, no boya, Abumamadio, Abumamadoki Keka, Abumamanike Kalu Akanu, Kalanana Mana, Kalano Kike. Abumamadio, ha, yes. Nabebu Kalakan, Nabebu Kalakan, Nabebu Kalakan, Nabe, the father of the piercing cry. Ooh, the father of the piercing cry, the father of all the guys. Abu nabe nabe baby, baby. Nile, that's nabe, interesting. Looks like the thing Nile, infinity, is named after nabe, infinity. Yes. Nabe names the gods. Abu Mamadio and Keisha. Me berry money, carry money, Alright. The first component of the music. Let's start in black. The first component of the music is what I will call the vocal background. Like where I'm just singing about my general feelings about the thing. Like say I'm making a song about how we need to get rid of crime. I'll just be singing in the background, something like that. That's raw. Vocal background. Then, and this is where I get a little confused, we need percussion. But technically speaking, what is percussion? Is that another name for egu? The ancestors said percussion is egu. Wow. Common speech. Percussion is sound that comes from hitting something. All sound comes from hitting something. My voice is hitting the air. What is not percussion? But there's something people are describing there. Ukwu, 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 egu ukwu. That's big music. That's the big sound. Ukwu. Interesting. Ekwe Kwensu, that's what that is. The vocal background. Ekwe Kwensu. Ekwe Kwensu. Another name for Amadio Hankichi. Let's put Adakarata. Yes. There I am. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Up Nabe. You can call it Nabe. Another name for Onishi Kalakan. You see, let me say this. I'm glorifying myself, but I want to set an example. One, there should be discourse. No matter what, any claim made about a person should be subject to discourse. Whether it's made by that person or someone else, and whether the claim is positive or negative. Negative. Go. Second, every person is vast, and every person is unique. So every person has special things about them that they should tell everyone about. So, just go. I'm not the only one with a title in a language that is not English. Let's go. You took all that time to either incarnate for the first time, because I want to talk about this. Most people have reincarnated the same way that, well, no, it's a bad example. I was going to say most people are not infants. That's not necessarily, I guess that's true in the world today, but should that be true? I guess it should. Well, I need to start saying it a different way. My Rinri. Anyway, long story short, there should be a lot of babies. We should have more babies. Have babies. Um, um, yeah. Anyway, the whole point is, forgot what I was saying. I got distracted by the baby. Anyway, let's keep going. Um, yeah, Adakarata, the father of the piercing cry, Nabe. Nabe. Okay. Where? But I have to think about this in terms of my inner life. So first, I make something where I'm just singing. The thing is, I'm never gonna sing without uku. Like I always do this. I won't just stand there and go la 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 la. I gotta think of this different. So I think when I'm doing the vocal background, that's free. That's the spirit of the song. Then to telegraph where I'm going, when we get to Ekonseze, rah, this one, it's gonna be where I deliver the message. So that'll also be singing. Well, this is my thing now. When I deliver the message, it's gonna come in 4 parts. Really, it's gonna be 2 parts but repeated. First, I'll sing the message, then I'll say it plainly. Because I think we all have to agree it's not good that almost no one. I'm just gonna say this. Let's have a bit of a disagreement. Some people will say I'm being harsh. I would say not. I would say 99% of people do not understand 99% of the music they hear, even if they read someone explain it somewhere, because there's not really proof. And I'll leave it at that. But that's not a good situation. Now, other people might say I'm wrong. Maybe some other people were at the secret meeting where they told everyone what it means. But, but anyway, in order to combat that, music has to become more practical. That does not mean that it will not um, be pleasurable to listen to. I mean, inherently, music is pleasurable to listen to. And all right, let me just go for it in this way. I'll admit I had a thought, but I've been advised not to say the thought at this moment in that way. But no, there are no living people off camera here. It might look like that. That means my ancestors are strong. But remember, even after people pass on, they still have their own lives. Anyway, um, yeah, but anyway, in order to combat that trend I was talking about, and then this is actually proper practice. Remember, music is just part of nature. So when we're out of tune with nature, we don't do basic things. In addition to singing, I'm just gonna say my message plainly, and other people should start doing that. And yes, Akwensu, you can make music without a message. It's just that should be the minority. Let me walk. Anyway, the message. I am 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 the message. OZ. I am the message. I am the message. I am the message. Message. Messiah. Abumunyiakana. What are you? Pray, find out. Seriously, you should be able to get something. Neptune, Kiki, Neptune, the measure for a month, you Neptune, the measure for a cake, Neptune, Papa, Neptune, Papa, Neptune, way, Neptune, the measure for Onishiaka, Kala Kanu, Gaga, Kala Kanu, Bob. Okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm creating the atiti, the middle. You have the vocal background, and then you have the message. What's between that? That stuff. And as it occurs to me now, the part of making music that annoys me most is really just something I should just go happily with. And that's getting into the devices and fiddling to get it into that final form. Because I'll just record it, I'll record the audio, and once I have those audio files, I'll have to do whatever necessary transfers there. And yes, okay, let's move. Kalakanu, 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 Amakanu, Amakanu, Kalakanu, ha, Kalakanu, ha, Kalakanu, ha, Kalakanu, 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 Abu Neptune, God of the sea, Abu Samson, Paneba. Come Neptune ofuma, abum ofuma kaka, abum ofuma nuwa, kalakanu, kaka, kalakanu, nuwa, kalakanu, bobe, kalakanu, ha ha. It seems like one step to me, but based upon my divination method, it should be two. And this is personal divination, of course. When I'm divining for other people, I do more. Neptune got a disease. Neptune kiki, Neptune the measure one yishiyaka, Neptune the measure kalakan, wa. Abu Neptune god of the sea, Abu Neptune Odyssey, I see me, I see you, peekaboo, then Pikachu, muddy, muddy, ball, bell, shimmery, shimmery, no boy, muddy, that was a good one anyway. Okay. Because there's two types of instruments I really intentionally want in my music. There's what we call drums, ukwo, and then quite frankly guitar. And wow, this is another name for kalakana. Because let me go into that. That instrument is called the kalakana, the greatest man alive. And I remember I received that message one day when I was doing work somewhere. And then I was looking stuff up on one website and I saw an image of a frog, which is, of course, the bass animal of Kalakanu playing a guitar. Kalakanu, I'm the Gita. I guess guitar is not my language, but Gita, 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 Gita. I am the Gita, Kalakana. Kalakanin Keze. Fun fact. Saying Kalakanin Keze is not as good as just saying Kalakan. Abu Mama, you have poppy. Abu Mama, you have poppy. Abu Mama, you have poppy. Kalakanin Kaje. I mean, fun fact, anytime you add something to Kalakanu, it's not as good. But apparently, saying Kalakanu Keze is one of the worst ones because Kalakanu is already so cool that if you're implying someone's Kalakanu Keze, you're saying he's like the greatest man alive or something that's not as good as a Magyo. It's a weird, not necessarily insult, it's weird. Anyway, language is interesting. Might do a lecture on that. I need to bring back my lectures. It's weird. You guys know me. I've talked about this before. My first YouTube video I made in 2020, and it's not still up. Then the next one I also made in 2020 around the same time. That one's still up. But I don't regard that as my proper beginning. So I always think in my mind my first video was that Kevin Explained lecture in 2022. Check that out in Chimway's comments. Yeah. But I haven't done a lecture since then that I labeled a lecture. I don't know. We'll see what I do. But I know I've been talking, so you know. Anyway, let me move. Koji Kalan Kanin Kitty Culture Titty Orchard Titty Orchard. Anyway, what do I want? So let's put ancestors are playing with me a bit. You know what? Let's look at this, because hitting drums for me is not really hard. So let's put that third, because by the time I've done the second step, I'll be kind of tired, relatively. You know, I'll recharge and stuff. So let's just put Ukwo. A boom 1 2 3 4 huh? A boom 1 2 3 4 huh? A boom 1 2 3 4 huh? Aneme mukun koko ka. A boom ukwa madio huh? Ukwo. You can also call it okwa. Yes, those of you who are familiar with what Igbo people call okwa, really it's breadfruit, but people usually are talking about the. Does anyone? I'm sure people do. That fruit is big now, but people usually eat the seeds on the outside of the big fruit. I don't. I guess I just haven't, at least to my knowledge, which is a weird statement. To my knowledge, I haven't had the fruit in there, but I need to look that up. Anyway, people call that stuff okwa. I used to like eating that growing up. It's just I still like that stuff. It's just like I'm trying not to eat hard food, so that's just very crunchy. So I probably won't do that again just because I'm trying to be lean on my teeth. But if someone like grinds that into powder and puts it into stuff, I'm there. Anyway, let me just take a walk. Neptune got a see. Neptune 1 2 3. Neptune Neptune. And for context, when it comes to that, growing up really ended the last time I ate it a couple years ago. Okay, so it's not like I haven't eaten in a while, but it's just I don't know. I'm just trying not to create a situation where I have to eat hard food. You know, just mash it. Yeah. Anyway, but I really like the taste of the dried hard outer seeds. So it is what it is. Anyway. Neptune got it the sea. Neptune key. Neptune right on key. Neptune right on key. Hard. Neptune right on key. Neptune right on key. Hard. Neptune right on key. Right on key. Right on key. Kala kind on key. Neptune right on key. I shine. Marching. Ukwa nukwa madioha, nukwa madioha, ewinewe madioha. Abum madio, abum kike kakara, abum kakaraka, akamona raka, akamona kaka, abum akaka, abum madio. Abuma Madio ha ba Abuma Madio ha pa he hey ha Abuma Madio ha nuwa ya Eke jenu papa Eke jenu pandu se pa Eke ji paka Kare praka Akara bigri ba be paw pe paw pe paw pe abum magwa anime gwagwa neba abum iwe anime wiwe neba anime wiwe nkiwe niwe neba abum iwe emecha madio ha abum iwe anime wiwe neba abum iwe anime wiwe kaka anime wiwe neba anime wiwe abumonishin na Abumonishin Amadio Abumonishi Amadio Abumamadio Amadio Abumamadio Bob Abumamadio Papa Abumamadio Hey Transmission from the ancestors. The dichotomy is Uko Nietzsche. Uko. That's sounds that I made without the use of my voice that are very intentional. Iche, stuff that's not intentional. Or at least I didn't intentionally put it together for that project. So that's that category. But I don't know how to suya. I don't know how to put it there. I don't know what spell to put. because I don't know how that works. Abumamadio ha bobo pen. Abumamadio ha paw paw pen. Abumamadio ha niweya. Igwe buamadio ha. Abum igwe no kikeya. Think of how to say this. I'm designing this process so that in theory I could do it myself. Although, like any work, my preference is that I have help when I'm doing it, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. But the Icha section, Icha just means different. It can also mean weird. It depends. The Icha segment is so random that I'm debating, or rather, I'm thinking how in theory I could do that myself, because it seems like it would be most efficient for someone else to just get my sounds and then, do something. Abumamadio ha paw paw pe. Abumamadio ha paw paw pe. Abumamadio ha nuwanka. Abumamadio ha wanketa. Abum ike kaka. Abumamunike nuwaya. Omunike amadio ha. Omunike yokike. Abumoki keika karaya. Abum zekar zauze. Anime zekarane mekaranema. Abum zekara madyuha. Zekara oki keika. Abumamadio ha bobe. Abumamadio ha paw pe. Abumamadio ha niweya. Abumamadio ha niveya. Ekezenu maranumo. Uzuku nechaka. Kawanechaka. Forgive me, I'm receiving alerts about strange crimes. Well, can you whip where Ralanua? Abumamadio haniweya. Abumamadio hanikeya. Abum amunike kalaka. Kalakanu ne dunuwa. Kalakanu ne ibuya. Abum kalakanu. Bobe. Abum kalakanu. Paw pe. Abum kalakanu. Ha bunkala kanu. Ha bunkala kanu. Wa bunkala kanu koke. Abun cat all man all Abun ba. Abun cat call kibike call. Abun akaraka madyuha. Abun iwea. Iwe bua madyuha. Iwe buoki ke ka abum iwe ka anime wiwe niwe ya iwe buo madio ha iwe buoki ke ka greater than nature, expanding nature, washing away all the sin in nature, because yes, sin can enter nature, it's not naturally there, but it is what it is. And overcoming nature. All that. And exactly what you mean depends on the context. Anyway. Abumamadio ha kike ka bum kike ka zekara bum zekara anime zekara ya abum zekara kike ka abum zekara zoze abum zekara paw pe abum zekara paw Archer Madyuha Abum Archer Madyuha Abum Archer Kika Abum Kika Abum Baran Culture Kaka Abum Baran Culture Kaka Obara Arches Nua, oh butter or chizzy. Cup, more butter or chizzy, a butter, oh butter. Oh butter, ball, big, pee, paw, pee, paw, put. Abu mama do you honey, via. Abu mama do you honey, K, yeah. Ha. Random sounds. Hmm. 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 I think my method will be I'll turn on the sound recorder and just do some other activity. Yes. And then that'll be the source of the sounds. And I think I should just do that regularly, and then they'll just be, a repository of things I can pick from. Anyway, Ichie slash Okie elder, and apparently from my ancestors also means alcohol. Again, the word Okie, maybe people pronounce it a little differently than me, but I hope you know what I mean. I know some people say Okenye, but this is not what I say. The word Okie, um, the word Okie just means elder in the language that most people refer to as Igbo today. Again, that's the reference point I have for my language, and you should know my position on language. According to my ancestors, that word also means alcohol. Alcohol is made by aging foods, so you can see the relationship there. It's funny I didn't put that together. I didn't articulate that consciously to myself before, even though I could see the connection. A lot of times when I see a connection, I don't even bother to explain it to myself. It is what it is. But anyway, that's just to say that most people now, I think, when referring to alcohol, they'll call it mania. Let me walk. Let me not even get into that thought I'm having. So they'll use that word. Anyway, they use that word, and then I guess they speak English. I don't know. So there's that. How do I note? This is a little translation. Turn on the device and do normal things. Yeah, so that's my method. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. Anyway, we produce something. So this is my music making method. And then when it comes to fiddling and transmuting, I just have to be in a good state. But I'm just wondering, let me figure out, because this won't be written down, but in my mind, a way to conceptualize doing that. So I've created the file. Let's say realistically, I need to change the format of the file. What does that mean? I need to open up a device. Open up some sort of file transmutation thingy, application, whatever, and then put it in and wait. Then download the new file. Okay. What's the problem there? For me, everything. So you have that. Then there's where I have to put them all together, and that's the one that annoys me even more. So, what do I do there? And also, every song I make will have two versions. There'll be the version that is played at the pace it was created, and then there's the version that's sped up all the way. So, it is what it is. It's kind of a test of how musical I am, because music should naturally move people. So, if the slow version doesn't move people, well, I guess then it wouldn't be music. I guess my ancestors are telling me I'm good enough to always be music. Okay. I hope they're right. Abu Mamadiha, Bobbin. Abu Mamadiha, Poppin. Abu Mamadiha, Bobbin. Abu Neptune, god of the sea. Abu Neptune, 1, 2, 3. Neptune and Meshabu Mamadiha. Neptune and Meshabu Kika. Abu Neptune, Neptune, Paw, Abu Neptune, Bob, Ha, Abu Mamadiuha, Abu Mamadiuha, Abu Mamadiuha, Abu Mamadiuha, Abu Mamadiuha, Abu Mamadiuha, Unutum Kaka, Unutum Biko Kanua, Biko Kanua. Abum kanko kike kabum mamadioha nive abum eve udama eve wama abum mamadioha nive the Just Weaver. Ha 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 ha. I think that's it. It's just I have to fiddle with that technology, and then I don't know. I guess I have my method. I have my workspaces, and then you know what? I need to do a different anger about how to fiddle with technology I don't like. Yes, that's a separate issue. Anyway, thank you very much. Let me put up the last short. Do I keep hitting it the wrong time or what? Then I see how chapped my lips are. Anyway, thank you guys very much. I'll wait, but you guys already have all my information, at least if you're a returning viewer, about how to patronize my business. If you're new, you can go to my About section. You can find ways to buy my art, buy my merchandise, subscribe on Patreon, and also donate. You can donate on PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. Do I have the previous page? Yes. Here's the handles for PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. And then my GoFundMe is still also not yet full, so that's also an option. You can check that out. Okay. Let's wait. Why do I keep hitting? Well, okay. Stuff is going up. All right. See you guys.